You've got questions? We've got answers. Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, answering the questions that new leaders ask us. Actually, it's our goal to help all leaders be more successful, productive, and confident. In today's episode, we're talking about communicating when we're stressed. Are you ready? Let's go. So I was asked this question. Actually, I've been asked it a lot, but the last time I was asked it, it was phrased like this. Kevin, do you have any tips for communicating when you're stressed? To which I answered, what? You're a leader and you're stressed? Well, certainly we all find ourselves in that situation. I have two basic answers to that question. When we have to communicate and we're stressed, two specific answers. Here's the first one. Don't do it. What I mean is, I'm not saying you should go hide. I'm not saying you should ignore the communication entirely. But what I am saying is, can it wait a little while? Can you give it a little time? Can you put some space between your immediate stress or anger or frustration and the return communication? Now, I know sometimes the communication that you need to have isn't related to what you're stressed about. But in the moment when you're angry, frustrated, or stressed in any way, maybe the best thing you could possibly do is to just wait. And I can tell you that if you're a parent, or if you've ever been parented, that's all of us, you have experiences on either side of that coin when the parent, either you or your parents, didn't do a very good job at this, right? They went immediately in, and the communication wasn't really all that successful. So my first answer to the question is to don't do it, but wait a little bit. But the second, and maybe a little bit more specific, and the answer that someone would be looking for is stop before you do it. Yeah, you may need to communicate right now. You may need to do something right away. Even if it's in the moment that you must respond, just stop first. Take a bit of a breath. Count to 10. You've heard all of that before. And you know why you've heard it a bunch of times? Because it works. But let me be a little more specific. When you stop, what I want you to do is to take another look at the situation or take another look at the person. The situation has got you frustrated. You might be frustrated or angry because you feel like someone did something wrong and you're kind of feeling like you're going to lash out. And perhaps you just think, why did they screw it up? Well, if you're in that frame, you're not going to do a very good job in the communication. So I'm encouraging you to take another look. And specifically what I'm wanting you to look at is, what is their intention? You know, if you stop and realize, the person wasn't trying to screw up. The person didn't mean to wreck the company van. The person didn't mean to tick off that customer. The person didn't mean to make that error, whatever it would be. If we can step back and realize that most likely the intention isn't really at issue, that will tend to calm us down enough that we can have a more successful communication. And the third thing, I think I slipped and already said this word, but the third thing is respond, don't react. Respond, don't react. When we react to something, we don't necessarily communicate most successfully. But when we can take a second and then respond to it rather than reacting, we'll likely have a much better chance of having a successful communication, a communication that allows for something successful to happen without a lot of unnecessary or unneeded or unwanted other consequences. There's two ways to go about communicating when you're more stressed. Let me share part of that again in today's tweet. If you are stressed, now might not be the time to communicate. Can you wait? Well, I hope this answer was helpful to you. And I hope that this gives you some sense of the kinds of resources that we have available to you here on the site or at budtoboss.com. I hope you'll take a look around and see what else we have to help new leaders like you or the new leaders that you're trying to work with to be more successful. That's what we're here for, to help you through the difficult and important transition from bud to boss.